Hey guys, welcome back to our next weekly update. This is for Chapter 4 and the week of, was it February 9th? So it's something we're getting through Chapter 4 of the book right now, and into Chapter 5 for the next discussion, next set of homework questions as well. But some things we want to make sure we're aware of, and I'll talk about the discussion question, talk about the different aspects that I wanted you guys to focus on. It looks like most of you did this all right, so we'll talk about some highlights here. Some things that I wanted to make sure that you're aware of. I've gotten some emails the past week or so about the homeworks that have come due, discussion posts and things like that. Make sure you're not waiting until the last minute on these things. Start trying to work ahead. Start trying to get some things accomplished ahead of time, ahead of schedule, if possible. I know we're all kind of in the middle of our semester now with tests coming up with for other classes. I actually gave two today for my classes. So I understand that aspect of it, but try and work ahead as much as possible so you don't run into problems with late homework or getting things in the last second. If you do by chance miss a deadline on a homework, not for discussion posts, but for homework, you are allowed to turn that in late, but it will cost you 50% of what your max score is. But again, don't take a zero on it just because you missed a deadline. Get that in. Make sure it's something that we know that you're turning something in. Otherwise, you'd be missing out on more points than what you should be. For discussion posts, there is no such thing as a late discussion post. You're not allowed to turn those in late. The system actually locks you out after at 11:59 on the dates that the discussions are due. So make sure you're getting in there early, responding to people. I say that because we are now 3 days away from the deadline, and there's only 16 posts that have been put into the this week's discussion. So make sure that you guys are getting in there. Make sure that you're responding to your classmates and adding to the discussion in an early manner so that it makes it easier for everyone else to respond as well. It's kind of that domino effect there. As far as the last homework that was just due, the movie analysis, a lot of good stuff that I've seen from you guys. As far as what you guys have been putting in. If you have questions about grading, please email Gannon, email myself, and we can talk. We can take a look at your papers and find out what it is that you got points taken off of. But basically, the idea for this is we want to take a look at how businesses are portrayed by the media, making sure we understand, what's the what are they trying to give us the idea that businesses are or managers are? Are they good people? Are they bad people? Is something where they're trying to make this person who is the manager seem like a dirty or a dirty might not be the most proper word, but someone that kind of skirts the line of being ethical and and how they do things. The movies that are out there, the ones that you guys have watched and written about, how much do they change your views or your opinions on how businesses are run or how managers run their operations? Is something that kind of opens your eyes to certain aspects of things. One of the things I really like about movies is how much they play on your emotions, things like that, just through sounds and pictures and through like what some of the characters are wearing. Is it something where the manager always wears that dark black suit or the dark suit with dark shadowing, things like that, to kind of picture them in that kind of dark and kind of mysterious manner? Or is it something where they have things where people seem to be held in a better light because you want them to be seen as the hero of the story or whatever it might be? But it's interesting seeing how we kind of look at things and how the media portrays things, how the movies are and directors are portraying these situations. But good stuff so far. But again, if you have questions about that, let me know, and I can talk to you about your grades or email you about what was done. For the discussion for Chapter 4, we're getting into values, getting into what your own personal values are. And there were some different things that I wanted you guys to do. And the first part of that was making sure that you looked at the values exercises stuff that I put in the content section as a supplement, giving you kind of a list of values to choose from to see which ones are most important to you personally, which ones are most important to you from a business standpoint. And figure out kind of based on your ideal situations, ideal society, ideal utopian kind of way of living, what is the what are the values that mean the most to you and the ones that you want to live by? And what is it that we're looking for that's more important when you're making some of these decisions? When you're talking about ethical dilemmas, ethical decisions, you're talking about values that could potentially conflict with each other. And there are going to be several times, and all of you guys, whether you want to believe it or not, are going to have some of those situations where you have some of the ethical situations, ethical dilemmas that are caused and brought about by something that your manager is choosing, or something that your corporation has as a core value that you don't necessarily believe in. And how you mesh with that with your company is something that's going to greatly affect how happy you are within that organization as well. But for example, financial values that your company might have, as far as making money, having a good bottom line, and sometimes the methods they want you to do in order to secure that is something that may not mesh very well, as far as integrity or honesty, or sorry, I'm looking at the list right now. Some of the things that are out there, the teamwork, harmony, some of the things that that go along with those, or some of those things that may potentially conflict with that. Some of you guys had integrity as a core value, which is wonderful, and honesty, but it's something that if you're in a customer service job and you value customer service, the idea that the customer is always right isn't necessarily true, but we want to make sure that the customer is being taken care of. And I don't want to throw Walmart under the bus, but I've had several students that have had internships or worked at Walmart, or had interactions with managers at Walmart where they know for a fact that people are flat out lying to their faces, but because companies like Walmart have the idea that, look, we don't want to make any customers upset, we want to have them there as a future customer, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice our own integrity or our own honesty and kind of bite our tongue and still let the customer have the refund or get the return on something that they clearly broke that wasn't like that in the packaging. But different examples like that make you kind of have to choose and weigh between, am I comfortable with this or am I not? And if you're not, it's something you might need to try and find something different, or find a way to get out of your current situation. How you kind of deal with these things, how you are able to voice your opinions and voice the issues that you have with your management goes a long way, as far as, again, your happiness with your career, happiness with your own personal life. There are a lot of situations you may get put into that leave you really just feeling sick to your stomach and having issues with kind of how your life is going and how your career is going. You want to make sure you're out of those situations and make sure it's not something that's compromising the values that you hold dear. But part of that is again, can you voice that opinion? Are you strong enough to do some of these things? We got into Dennis Joya with the Pinto Fire situation, where he knew something was going wrong, knew something wasn't quite right with how they were handling the situation, but just wasn't a strong enough person at the time to deal with it and to voice that and to say, look, hey guys, we need to change how we're doing this or change how we're looking at this, and it just kind of got much worse and much worse. But you need to be able to have that relationship with your supervisors, with your managers, with your company, to where you can voice that opinion and say, look, it's not right. We need to do things in a different manner because this is an unethical way of doing things, a dirty way of doing things, whatever it might be. That perception of someone looking from the outside saying, look, why are you fudging numbers? Why are you cutting corners on this, that, or the other? Can have a big standing as far as how other people look at you. Set aside what your own feelings are. But that's kind of what we're looking for the discussion. And a lot of you guys kind of got into some of these things, and unfortunately, some of you guys also kind of skirted this and said, look, I don't have any problem doing this. It's something it's not an issue. And I think you might not be looking at things from the seriousness or how hard it is to actually say something when you're in those positions. But good. Homework number 2, the personal interview is due this week, and it's something due Sunday. Make sure you're getting that in the system. Again, as of now, there's only 10 submissions so far out of the 100 plus students we have. So make sure that you're getting in there. Make sure you're getting the interview taken care of. Again, make sure that this interview is done in your own words. I don't want to see, just a question answer kind of mentality. I want you to actually summarize what the responses are, summarize what the answers to the questions are. Make sure that you're looking at the instructions in D2L for the homework. If you follow the instructions that are on D2L in there on the homework section, then you'll have no problems with this. But again, if you're not following directions, you're going to miss out on some points. Again, that's due on Sunday, February 15th. Make sure you're not late on that, otherwise you'll start missing points. Some other things, just kind of moving forward. Exam number 1, the deadline to take that exam is February 20th. Make sure that you are, if you're in the position to take it early, great, take it early. That way you can start working ahead for the rest of the course. As we get past the first exam, each week you're going to have 2 chapters and 2 discussions that are due. So make sure that you're aware that it's going to be a little bit more of a little bit more time that's needed on your part to get through some of the material. So if you're falling behind now, make sure that you understand you need to ramp things up a little bit and get moving. That way you don't run into problems. Again, just kind of try and work ahead. Don't fall behind. Don't procrastinate to the last minute. And it's something that it looks like there are some people that are moving forward and that are trying to work ahead. But there should be more of you guys that are trying to have that mentality. So again, please make sure that's done. There is a review for the first exam in the content section. So make sure you're taking a look at that. Make sure you're running back through these videos like we're talking about. Because a lot of the things we talk about, things I focus on these videos are things that you'll want to make sure you're aware of as far as the exams and understand how they go along with some of the concepts from the chapters and from the lectures. So make sure you're looking at the review, make sure you're getting prepared for the first test, and I will update another video here in about a week. Thanks, guys.